Not even her dog. It's my dog! She's taking my dog!
Robert Leckie was born on February 18, 1920, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to a working-class family. Growing up amid the Great Depression, he faced the struggles and hardships that shaped the era for many American families. From an early age, he exhibited a sharp intellect and a deep passion for writing, traits that would later serve him well during his military service and throughout his post-war career as an author. With the outbreak of World War II, Leckie, like many young Americans, felt compelled to serve his country. He enlisted in the United States Marine Corps shortly after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. At the time, he was a young man filled with idealism and a deep sense of duty, much like others of his generation. The son of Charles and Mary Leckie, Robert was the eldest of 3 siblings. His upbringing in Philadelphia instilled in him a sense of discipline, resilience, and patriotism, qualities that would define his life. The economic difficulties of the 1930s taught him the value of perseverance and hard work, traits that would prove essential during his time in the military. His initial training was grueling, designed to mold civilians into battle-ready Marines capable of withstanding the most demanding combat conditions. The Marine Corps' training regimen was notoriously rigorous, pushing recruits to their physical and mental limits. Leckie later chronicled this period in his memoirs, vividly describing the relentless physical drills, strict discipline, and psychological conditioning that transformed him into a Marine. Assigned to the 1st Marine Division, Leckie became part of a unit that would earn legendary status for its role in the Pacific Theater. His first major engagement was the Battle of Guadalcanal, a pivotal campaign that marked a turning point in the war against Japan. From August 1942 to February 1943, American forces fought to secure the strategic location in the Solomon Islands, preventing the Japanese from using it to threaten Allied supply lines and communications. During the Guadalcanal campaign, Leckie witnessed firsthand the brutal realities of war. The Marines faced not only enemy combatants but also unforgiving environmental conditions, including dense jungles, sweltering heat, tropical diseases, and supply shortages. Constantly under threat from Japanese forces, his unit endured intense combat and heavy casualties. One of the most significant battles in which Leckie participated was the Battle of Cape Gloucester on New Britain Island in December 1943. This operation was part of a broader strategy to neutralize Japanese bases and secure critical positions in the Pacific. The Marines encountered extreme challenges, navigating through dense rainforests, deep mud, and treacherous terrain while battling enemy forces in grueling conditions. Throughout his service, Leckie meticulously documented his experiences, notes that would later form the foundation of his renowned memoir Helmet for My Pillow. His book provided an unfiltered and deeply personal account of a Marine's journey through the Pacific War, capturing not only the physical demands of combat, but also the psychological toll of prolonged military service. Leckie was known for his introspective nature and ability to convey the complex emotions of soldiers in wartime. He wrote about the camaraderie among Marines, the moments of sheer terror and adrenaline-fueled combat, and the profound sense of loss when fellow soldiers were killed. His raw honesty and literary talent set his work apart, offering readers an intimate perspective on the realities of war. Perhaps the most harrowing experience of Leckie's military career was the Battle of Peleliu in September 1944. Often regarded as one of the war's most unnecessary and costly battles, Peleliu was a small Pacific island transformed into a fortress by Japanese defenders who had built an extensive network of underground tunnels and defensive positions. The Marines suffered staggering casualties in the battle. Leckie witnessed extraordinary acts of heroism while enduring horrific conditions. The intense fighting, relentless heat, and scarce supplies pushed the Marines to their absolute limits. During the battle, Leckie sustained wounds that had a lasting impact on his understanding of war and human endurance. After recovering from his injuries and serving in multiple campaigns, he was eventually rotated back to the United States. Like many veterans, he faced difficulties adjusting to civilian life. However, Leckie channeled his wartime experiences into a prolific writing career, becoming a respected military historian and author. His memoir, Helmet for My Pillow, remains a seminal work in war literature, offering an unfiltered look at a Marine's experience in the Pacific. The book later served as a primary source for the HBO miniseries The Pacific, which dramatized the experiences of Marines during World War II. Beyond his personal memoir, Leckie authored numerous books on military history, including Strong Men Armed, Challenge for the Pacific, Okinawa, Iwo Jima, and Delivered from Evil. His ability to blend thorough historical research with compelling storytelling cemented his reputation as a distinguished historian and writer. Leckie's writings stood out for their literary merit, psychological depth, and unflinching honesty. Unlike many military accounts that glorified war, his works delved into the human aspects of combat, fear, camaraderie, chaos, and the deep emotional impact of battle. His unique ability to merge personal narrative with broader historical context made his books accessible to both military history enthusiasts and general readers. His prose was eloquent yet direct, vividly capturing the complex emotions of soldiers with remarkable sensitivity. After the war, Leckie married Vera Keller, started a family, and continued his writing career, earning widespread respect as a military historian. He remained connected to the Marine Corps community and actively participated in veterans organizations. His experiences continued to shape his worldview and literary pursuits. Leckie passed away on December 24, 2001, leaving behind a rich literary legacy. He was remembered not only as a Marine who served with distinction, but also as a writer who illuminated the human dimension of war for future generations. Robert Leckie's contributions extended far beyond his military service. Through his writing, he provided an honest, deeply personal portrayal of the Marine experience during World War II. His work bridged the gap between military history and personal narrative, shedding light on the psychological and emotional challenges faced by soldiers. Regarding Robert Leckie's portrayal in the Pacific, the series captured his story with a level of historical accuracy, particularly in addressing more sensitive aspects of his experiences. However, certain details were fictionalized. In Helmet for My Pillow, there is no mention of a woman named Stella, with whom he was depicted as having a relationship in Melbourne, Australia. Instead, he referenced a woman named Sheila, who likely served as the inspiration for Stella's character. Like Stella, Sheila allowed Leckie to stay at her home. However, unlike in the show, Leckie's friend Chuckler was also present. According to his memoir, Leckie did not experience grief or heartbreak because no romantic relationship developed between him and Sheila. Another fictionalized element was a scene where Eugene Sledge and Leckie meet on Peleliu. Since neither man mentioned this in their memoirs or interviews, it is uncertain whether such a meeting ever occurred. One historically accurate scene depicted in the Pacific involved Leckie's intoxicated outburst, during which he threatened his commanding officer, Lieutenant Corrigan. This incident led to his transfer out of his unit. Leckie also suffered from enuresis, involuntary urination, a condition he detailed in his memoirs. According to Leckie, his enuresis first appeared due to the extreme stress of Guadalcanal, disappeared while stationed in Melbourne, but returned during his time in New Guinea and New Britain. He also owned a Nambu Type 14 pistol, a sidearm commonly carried by Japanese officers. Another Marine had stolen the weapon from an enemy officer and gifted it to Leckie before he left Pavuvu.